Welcome back, everyone. We're in the period of time where sunlight is still a little bit on the short side. Days are a touch cooler. Dr. Andrea Zeddies is here to give us some tips and tricks for coping with SAD, or Seasonal Affective Disorder. I'm glad this is a topic we're discussing. Dr. Andrea, hello.
Hi.
Good to see you as usual.
To see you too.
All right, Seasonal Affective Disorder, give it to me. What does it actually mean?
So Seasonal Affective Disorder, or SAD, is it's a disorder that is affected by the amount of sunlight that we receive. It is mostly seen in parts of the country where it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit rainier, it could be colder. So Seattle, Portland, parts of the Midwest, the East Coast, and then the most striking examples of it are in places where you're north of the Arctic Circle, so Norway, parts of Russia, even Alaska, where they have dark days.
23 hours
23 hours of darkness.
Yeah.
And so you would most likely see more of seasonal affective depression in those areas.
Is it possible to see it here because of a decrease in our sunlight, or do we still get enough through a Texas winter that we're okay?
It's possible to see it here to a more mild degree. Obviously, we've had some freezes that have happened, and definitely it's been dreary. It's been a little bit darker. It gets dark at maybe 6:30 now. So yes, we definitely do see seasonal affective depression here, or disorder here. But not as much as you would see in the other parts of the country.
Gotcha. Okay. So what's happening actually in our brain, in our body, when seasonal affective disorder starts to take over?
So sunlight is such a powerful tool for us and our bodies to function properly. So first of all, if we're not receiving sunlight through our skin, we're not getting enough vitamin D. And vitamin D is crucial for a lot of different functions. It also will affect how much serotonin our brains produce. So serotonin is the feel-good chemical in the brain. It is the chemical that antidepressants are trying to boost to help people who have a clinical depression. And it also affects dopamine, which is, it's known as the reward chemical in the brain. So it brings pleasure. The example I like to tell people is, think of playing a video game, and when you make it to the next level, you get that hit of dopamine. Mm-hmm. So you're actually seeing reduced dopamine levels as well when we're not getting enough sunlight.
Gotcha. And something to balance is, like, once we start getting into the summer, it's like, be really careful, don't get too much sunlight because it's going to mean aging faster. It's going to mean potential burns. Like in Texas, the summer sun can be so intense, but the fact that we still need a degree of it in order for vitamin D to be produced in our bodies, I think is really interesting.
It is really interesting, and truly we need about at least 15 minutes a day of sunlight that can be absorbed through the skin before you put on your sunscreen, depending on your own situation, in order for you to boost that serotonin. And the other interesting thing that happens, especially during the winter, is that because it's darker longer, we produce more melatonin. And when we have more melatonin, we're sleepy and we're fatigued and we're drowsy and we don't have energy. We can't do anything. So that's why you get that feeling with seasonal affective disorder of not having motivation to get out and do
I heard
things.
You mention it as a depression, and I can see that this is kind of cyclical. Like once some of these triggers start happening, like it is hard to come back out around the other side of it. So what should people do if they start to notice some of these symptoms?
So the first thing I would do actually is go get a test to see how much vitamin D you have in your system, because vitamin D deficiency is common actually year-round for some people, depending on
I take pills year-round.
What foods they're eating.
I'm an office dweller, so my primary care physician said go ahead and take vitamin D as a pill.
Yes, for sure. I have a client who recently told me that he doesn't go outside in the morning at all, or maybe even not all day because he works from home. So that would be the next thing, is get outside. Even if you don't have a dog to walk, like beautiful Xena, you should just get outside, and I mean, even just sit on the porch if you don't feel like walking. But that's going to be key, is just get outside, get some vitamin D absorbed. Even you can absorb vitamin D even through, you know, like a darker or dreary sky.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've had this lovely little lamp sitting next to you for a while now. This is actually a tool to help combat SAD, SAD,
Yes,
as
SAD.
well, right?
It is. So this is a light, a sunlight. Now I don't know if it's going to be able to be seen on camera, but the light is at, I think, 6,400 Kelvin, and I was like looking up what's Kelvin. It's the color temperature, actually.
Okay.
And 6,400 is close to what daylight is, so it's going to be mimicking daylight. And I had actually bought this lamp for one of our office managers who was sitting in a room that didn't have a window.
Got it.
And she said it did help her. And I think if you just spend like 15, 20 minutes under the lamp every day, then you are going to be able to kind of, it's more of a simulated, getting a simulated daylight.
Sure, but
So that can
that's
help
something
improve
you're
your
able to
mood.
control versus it's a dark, stormy day
Oh,
outside,
yes.
that sort of thing.
For
So
sure.
it might help give you a little bit of a boost. Is there anything
Yes.
else that can be done?
So if, you know, it depends on how severe your symptoms get. So symptoms are going to be obviously sadness, feeling of emptiness, just kind of down in the dumps, you know, the low energy, low motivation that we talked about. If you feel like it's to a point where you're not able to function, you don't feel like going to work or doing your normal activities, then I would say talk to your doctor. And find a therapist, of course. I'm always going to be advocating for psychotherapy. It's so helpful, I think, for everyone. But if you are experiencing symptoms of SAD, then definitely talk to a therapist.
Sounds good to me. And you've got a brand new stress management course out. We'll have to talk about that next time. But
Yeah, for sure.
stress-free living from the inside out, exciting stuff.
Yes.
Dr. Andrea, we appreciate your time as always.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Go to AndreaZeddies.com where you can learn more about Dr. Andrea's offerings.